Hello and welcome to ThePrint. We have a special guest. She's someone who dons multiple hats. A politician, an actor, an articulate speaker, and whatnot. Welcome to ThePrint, Khushboo Sundar. So, you joined the BJP some time back. The first question that I would like to know is, where does BJP stand today in Tamil Nadu?
In a very bright spot, I would say. The kind of faith people have shown towards BJP, towards the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, looking at the good work what BJP government has done in the last 12 years, we are at a very bright spot. The times have changed where people said that BJP can never find a place in the hearts of the people of Tamil Nadu. We have 4 sitting MLAs. We are just going to start contesting election the next 1 month. So I'm very sure that the numbers are going to grow, and wherever you go, how people come forward and they talk about the party, they talk about BJP, the way, the amount of respect and love they show towards the Prime Minister, I would say that we are at the right place.
Right. You know, why I ask this question is because if you look at the DMK, the way it sort of talks about the BJP, the way it projects BJP, it always tries to categorize it as a party which is, the Hindi belt, North Indian, in a way, always against the South. And, the BJP has also not been able to make inroads in the southern state. What is it that is lacking?
Nothing is lacking. It's just that over so many years, you have put this Dravidian model in the minds of the people. Now, we are not against any model. You have a way of life. BJP has a way of life. And please tell me, I would like to ask the kind of wrong propaganda DMK has been doing about BJP. Tell me one scheme which is brought in by the BJP or Narendra Modi ji which says this is not for the Tamilians, this is not for the minorities, this is only for the majority, or this is only for the northern states or western states and not for the southern states. One policy. Everything is for the people of India. Those who vote for BJP, those who even don't vote for BJP, the policy rules and the policies remain the same for everyone. So the kind of propaganda what DMK has been doing, it's just that they are scared. They have been trying to break Tamil Nadu for a very long time. They have been talking about going separately. We need a separate state. We need a separate identity and entity completely for Tamil Nadu. We are the people who have been saying that Tamil Nadu is a very, very important and a very proud part of India. Let's not talk about breaking it away. Let's not talking about building more barriers and walls. When you talk about states, you already have some certain rules and regulations state-wise, and you have these walls already being built. We're saying let's have a wall where we can easily cross the border lines and we can have a very healthy relationship. We don't want borders within ourselves. And this is what DMK has been trying to do. And BJP has been trying to tell them, relax, your position is where you belong to. But tell me one thing where today if they're talking about DMK, how come they have been in partnership, in coalition or partners in crime with the Congress government for so many years? Because their policy has been, I scratch your back and you scratch mine. And the kind of corruption what India has seen when both the parties have been together at the center as well as at the state. I mean, it's for the world to see. So what are we even talking about? Where are you coming out and giving us a lecture, a bhashan and saying that BJP is trying to break away or not doing enough for Tamil Nadu, where you have a prime minister at every given opportunity, he talks about Tamil language. It's now you're saying that Tamil has been found in the tombs of Egypt and the pharaohs. Prime Minister has been talking about it from the day he's become a Prime Minister, even before that when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He has been talking about Tamil. You speak Hindi. Every school, every educational institution which is run by the DMKs, it teaches Hindi as a second language, as a compulsory language, because none of them have state board. They all run CBSE formulas. So if you're so particular about Tamil culture, Tamil language, why don't you run state board schools? Why do you run CBSE schools? Because you want the central board, you want all the moolah coming in, you want all the support, and you want people to come in and study in your school because you know you're offering second language as Hindi. Every person who has been at the center, your ministers, your MPs, they all speak Hindi. Your own children go to Hindi speaking schools where they teach Hindi and your children speak Hindi. So, what is it false propaganda you're trying to give them and say that this is against Tamil Nadu and there's an Hindi imposition?
So you think that charge is baseless?
Absolutely baseless, because you have the maximum number of people among all the four southern states. Of course, in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, you have Urdu. But otherwise, when you look at Karnataka, you look at Kerala, you look at Tamil Nadu, the maximum number of people who actually take up Hindi as a language is from Tamil Nadu. So whatever the wrong propaganda you're trying to do, you still have people taking up Hindi as a second language.
Right. Before I ask you more political questions, I also wanted to ask you about your new movie, which is coming up with. How do you juggle, politics and movies, Bollywood, Tollywood? How do you do all of that?
I feel if there is a will, there is a way. It's as simple as that. And to me, there's nothing called impossible. There is a possibility in everything that you want to do. Is how passionate you're about doing things what you want to do, how serious you are about doing things what you actually want to do with life. I think that's what matters. And I think probably my husband always says that I need to be sent to some lab and check okay, what is wrong with me. I'm very differently wired, because they see me juggling too many things at home, my travel, my home, my children, the entire family. So he says, no, something is definitely wrong with you. You need to be sent to a lab to check. So I think I am differently wired, and I'm glad that I'm differently wired, because very rarely you come across people who are able to manage everything so easily. So I'm one of the rare species where I say that I'm able to manage it.
And what's this new movie about?
Subedar is something about, it's a complete a family film where it's going to bring a lot of anger, it's going to bring a lot of love, it's going to tell you about what love is, whether you're together or not. Husband and wife relationship, father and daughter relationship, a man who's so righteous, like the caption says about Subedar, that you have FF dash 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 with the wrong man. So, a man who lives his life on his terms is a very, very righteous person who has clarity in what he wants to do with it, and how he comes back and he tries to bring a change in the society, because this is not the society he's seen, he's known to, he's been in armed force. So it's a different ball game altogether there. So when he comes back in a small village, a small town, he sees what it is and how he tries to bring in a change. So it's more about father and daughter relationship, friends, the good and the bad and the ugly. And of course, there's a very cute romance between husband and wife.
Right. You mentioned, the father and the child relationship. Whatever I have read about you, you also had a very sort of a difficult relation with your father, like a bit of a traumatic past.
Yes, I have. I had a very traumatic past with my dad, and I think he passed away 4 years ago. I don't know. So I haven't seen him. 86 was the last I saw him, and I was very clear that I'm not going to see him. Because if I take a decision, it takes a very long time for me to take a decision. But if I take a decision, then nothing on earth can move that. And I took a decision in 86 when he left us that I'm not going to see him again. I'm not going to have any kind of relationship with him, or I'm not going to even acknowledge him as my father. And all my years, I've never done that. And I tried arguing even with the government of India all these years that why my passport should say name of the father, why it can't be name of the mother. But then I think the rules, it continues where you have to name the name of the father. And I feel that my mother says he's the father because she knows he's the father. And she's the one who identifies that he's the father. That's why I know he's the father. To me, I know my mother because she's given a birth to me. And I have that extra 10 months of my connection with my mother. So I rather acknowledge her more than acknowledging my father. And the kind of a traumatic past I have had with my dad, I would like to scrape his name from anything that exists in my life.
So how did, movies happen? Why did you decide on that first?
I was a child actor. My brother, my eldest one, we lost him 3 years ago. So he was very good friends with Hemaji's nephew, Deepu. And I think they went to same school or something. And I used to go to Hemaji's place very often, and I still remember it was a complete white house with a huge Helican staircase. And unke ghar pe, there used to be, you know, kind of a display cupboard hua karta tha, where all her trophies and shields used to be there, right from the ground floor, from the bottom, from the floor to the right to the top, 2 floors. And it was a very, very warm. It wasn't where you have the dream girls home. Very, very warm, welcoming home it was. It was always crowded. There are people, and you could smell sambar and people running in and out, and all home people. It was not that naukar chakar hai, madam busy hai, nothing of that kind. So Himaji's brothers were there, and Himaji's mummy, Mrs. Jaya Chakravarti. So she was the one who actually saw me, and I was playing around, and Ravi Chopra uncle had come and he saw me, and then he said ki, I need this girl to do my film, The Burning Train, ek role hai, karegi kya? And then Hema auntie was there, and then mummy ji said, पूछते हैं. So they came and said, cinema mein kaam karega. And I had nothing to do with cinema. I was new, and I looked at Hema auntie and I looked at mummy ji, and I said, if you're going to give me one ice cream a day, every day I shoot, I will continue to act. So that ice cream, my love for ice cream, actually started my career in cinema. And I did The Burning Train. And when I was doing The Burning Train, again, Mamiji and Hemaji recommended my name to Manmohan Desai uncle because he was making Naseeb then to play young Reena Roy. So then it started ki, are Hemaji and Mamiji are recommending one child actor. So it started from there. That came to Desh Premi to Lavaris to Loot Mar to Swami Dada, and one after the other, Kalia, one after the other, back to back. I started doing a lot of films as a child actor, and that's the final point came in when I did Dard Ka Rishta. And that is how, when Sunita uncle signed me for that film, that was one film which gave me lot of recognition where people looked up and said, okay, there is somebody called Baby Khushboo here. So that gave me a lot of confidence, and the kind of probably every actor looks for the recognition that gave me.
Right. You know, it's something personal, but I really do want to ask you, if I may. You know, born in a Muslim family, you are associated with a party which is in a way viewed as not the first choice for that community. Or at least the perception is that, you know, Muslims will not vote for the BJP. How do you see, you know, this kind of perception, your own identity? I mean, how do you look at it?
See, all I would like to ask people who say that BJP is not for the nation, the minorities in the nation. Like I said before, what Rajiv Gandhi did when it came to Shah Bano case, he chickened out the last minute because he wanted appeasement politics. Who brought in triple talaq abolishment? It was Narendra Modi, the BJP
the Supreme
government.
Court also. I mean,
yeah, Supreme Court. But then who fought for it?
Yeah.
When you look at Article 370 in Kashmir, where we thought that we'll never be able to go back to Kashmir as somebody who can really go around and be free and find a place and say Kashmir is ours. Who brought in that? It's all about appeasement politics. All you have seen over the years, people have been talking about appeasement politics. People have been talking about minorities. And then what happens to the majority? What happens to them? Very recently, there was a news where somebody could not clear NEET exam because somebody from a different path or different area altogether had secured only 8 marks out of 900, but was given a university seat in a medical seat because that person belonged to a backward community. So how long are you going to go about beating around the bush and say that it is for the minorities? Even the minorities say that we are fine. Even people from the backward community say we are doing well for ourselves. Please stop looking at us as a second citizen. We are at par with anybody today, and we agree to that. We agree and we say you are at par. A person like me who has been so vocal, whether it is politically or about any kind of issues that happens in the country, if I choose BJP, if for a simple reason that I belong to a country called a nation called India, and nothing more is important to me than to see my country grow globally. People look at us and say that, oh, you belong to India, and there's a sense of pride within me. So when a person like me can choose BJP, I think the world is owning up to India with BJP, and the kind of respect that we all have been looking for as an Indian citizen. If that is what BJP can give us in 12 years, why not? Every Muslim person who is in India is an Indian citizen. And we equally respect them, we love them. And like I said, one policy which says that this is not for the minorities, I would quit politics and sit down. You can't spread hate, you can't spread false propaganda, you can't go out to people and just during the election time, Rahul Gandhi becomes a Shiv Bhakt. The DMK government in Tamil Nadu, they go around all the temples, they are standing outside the temple and accepting everything, getting the puja done. The women of your own household, they do puja at home. You have pujas happening in your own houses. But then you tell people, oh, I'm an atheist, I'm a Periyarist, I don't believe in this. And you say that Sanatan Dharma is like a cancer, it has to be rooted out. It is like COVID, it is, you compare it to Sanatana Dharma, saying that it is like any other dreadful disease. You can't do that, appeasement politics. People are intelligent enough to understand that enough is enough. You can't go around with appeasement politics. They need results. And BJP and Narendra Modi are giving results when it comes to the country.
Why I ask this question is also because a few days back we saw a former BJP MP from Rajasthan. He was distributing blankets. And when he got to know that, he was handing it over to a Muslim woman, he took it back, saying that you criticize PM Modi, those who are criticizing him, I am not giving that blanket to them.
See, something like this happened, very, very unfortunate. But then when very recently, just 3 days back, we saw somebody shaming and calling names to these women from Arunachal Pradesh. You had a minority minister as well as the parliamentary affairs minister, Kiran Rijiju, so strongly talking about it, going out in support. So very rarely, probably this BJP MP would have reacted because he's a Narendra Modi fan. But I'm very sure that even Modi ji wouldn't accept that. Because when you had the opening inauguration of Ram Mandir, you had people coming in from Muslim community, you had people coming in from Hindu community, you also had people coming in from Christian community to offer their prayers. So we do not say that we look at you differently. We treat you equally, we love you equally, and all the policies and everything that we do for the nation, which includes every backward class, every SC, ST, every minority person who lives in this soil called Indian soil. We respect them, we love them equally. There's no differentiate. We don't say you're a Hindu, you're a Muslim, so you're less obligated. We are less obligated towards you, and somebody else is going to get more gains because he's a Hindu. No, it's the same.
Right. So more about Tamil Nadu politics. There was a time when the BJP under Mr. Annamalai, the BJP was in a way against an alliance with AIADMK. So what changed?
Nothing changed. We were in alliance with them even in 2021. It's just that during parliamentary election, probably Annamalai ji thought, being the chief of the state, he thought, let us go solo. All of us have ideas that we all want to go solo. Let's test the waters. This is what the idea would have been with Annamalai ji. But we are back to AIADMK. We have always been in support with them. We have always stood by what Mr. EPS has said, and the kind of relationship EPS shares with the Prime Minister as well as with Amit Shah ji. We all know that the kind of respect they have towards each other. Of course, there were little kahin sur bigad jata hai beech mein. ठीक है, we are back on the forefront and we are back together. I think all that ends well is well.
How do you see his leadership, Annamalai's?
See, every leader has a different way of functioning. When Tamilisai ma'am was the president of BJP, I would really, really hand it out to her, saying the way she handled BJP when it was at the rock bottom. she faced so much of criticism. She faced so much of personal attacks. People attacked her for the way for her appearance. They made fun of her. She was part of memes and everything. But she never gave up. She stood her ground and she took BJP forward. If BJP has gained so much of popularity in the last 15 years, I would say most of it should be handed over to people like Thamaraisi Soundarajan, Ila Ganeshan sir, our now the Vice President, Honorable CPR sir, the former leaders of BJP who were there with us. I think they all have H. Raja for that matter, Ponnar. I think they all have stood their ground even when people said that BJP can never grow in Tamil Nadu. They have shown this confidence, they have shown the faith in the party, and they've stood their ground very, very firmly. And after that, of course, when L. Murugan was the party president, how he took the party forward, he brought me to the party, how he brought a lot of other people into the party. I think he had a different way of functioning. Annamalai had a different way of functioning. And now Nayana Nagendra, he's a very seasoned politician. He comes from AIADMK, but he's a very, very seasoned politician. He's been a minister. He knows how to talk. He knows how to handle people. Very, very inclusive. So everybody has a different way of functioning.
Right, you mentioned women leaders, you yourself. We have seen that, a number of women leaders, they are always at the receiving end of derogatory comments, obscene comments. I mean, recently, J. Shivaji Krishnamurti, he was granted 2 years of rigorous imprisonment, right? He had made such remarks about you and the governor. How do you see, how women leaders have to sort of handle this? We see even Jyoti, the another leader.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it basically happens that when a woman speaks, and if she speaks with little sense, men, their basic ego is hurt. They can't expect a woman to speak sense. They cannot expect or they cannot accept a woman being at the forefront as a leader. So most men, when they show this kind of attitude on a platform, on a public platform especially, I pity them. I'm more than getting angry. I pity them because it just shows the kind of upbringing they have had. So I don't blame them. Probably they have been in an environment where the women in their family have been subjected to this kind of insults, this kind of verbal abuse, and they're used to it, and they expect women to be quiet and accept what has been thrown at them in the name of insult, in the name of hiding behind a mask of saying it's a political platform, trying to show your faith or your trust towards your leader, trying to be in good books with your leader. So I blame their upbringing. But what happened with the DMK person who's a very small timer in DMK, but the kind of words he used, these idiots, I would say, don't even realize that you were not insulting me. You were insulting a man who's in his grave, who has been the focal point of building a party called DMK, and that was Dr. Kalinger. So you were insulting him in turn. When you were insulting me, you were insulting him. I'm sure if Kalinger was there, he would have even turned and churned in his grave today after hearing the kind of comments a DMK has made about me. Because I remember when one of the magazines, it was a fortnight magazine, had written a very ugly article about me on the cover page of a story. And it was Kalinger, when I was in DMK. He stood his ground, he filed a case, and he just filed a case for ₹1, and he wrote a very big article in his newspaper that here you're not insulting a woman who is in my party. You're insulting a woman who is a woman of this land called Tamil Nadu. She is a mother, she is a daughter, she is a sister, she is a wife, she is the daughter-in-law. And कहते हैं कि घर का जो दिया होता है, she is that कुत्तवलका of a house. You're insulting that woman. And that man stood up for me. But here you have somebody like a third-rated person from a DMK who talks so ill about me. And you have silent spectators, or you have even a leader like Ponmudi, who has been a minister. he talks about women in such a derogatory manner that you would even shudder that how can a man who's been a minister, who's been chosen by the people to represent them, speak these lines. But like I said, it's just your upbringing. You can't do anything about it.
But I also think, I guess it also cuts across party line, because your own, Tamil Nadu president, Nagendra, he made some comments about Trisha and Vijay.
See, I was very surprised when my president made that kind of a statement. That's not him. Anybody, even the opposition party leaders, they would vouch that when it comes to Naina Nagendran, he is one of the finest, most respected leaders. And he is somebody, even when he was in AIADMK, even when he was a minister, we have never seen him speaking these lines or speaking about women anywhere. I don't know, probably the kind of situation or somebody who keeps talking from behind, or there are times when you're discussing something in the room and you come out and then you just blurt it out. I don't know. I was quite surprised, but I'm at least, I wouldn't say I'm glad that he took back his words. He regretted. Yeah. But it shouldn't have been spoken. As a woman, I definitely would stand by with Trisha and say that the kind of words, it was uncalled for. It was not required to name Trisha there. What happens in somebody's personal life is absolutely personal. Nobody has any kind of a damn business to comment on their personal life. It's political, you attack politically. You can't go personally, is what I feel. So it was very unfortunate it happened. And all of us were taken aback because, like I said, he's one of the most respected leaders of our state. And even the opposition will vouch that he's not somebody who would speak those lines.
Right. As far as the assembly elections are concerned, Vijay's party, TVK, what impact do you think it will have?
See, the new generation, the young minds, Vijay is the most popular actor we have in Tamil Nadu today. So he is there. People are excited that he's there. But if Vijay thinks that this election I'm going to become the chief minister, and if somebody is guiding him to that, then it's absolutely wrong. Then I would say, brother, you are very naive and novice to politics. As soon as you come into politics, gone are the days when Purachi Talevar MGR would be in, he was in US in the hospital, and from his, hospital bed, he just did this. He was not able to speak. He had lost his voice, and he just did this. And there was a sweeping victory for AIADMK. So those days are gone. You can't do that. Times have changed. People who come to see you are not the ones who are going to vote for you. It's not necessary. Yes, you will garner quite a decent amount of people's faith, which I do agree. But how long that is going to sustain, because we have seen it in the past when Mr. Vijay Kant came into politics. There was a huge crowd and he did become the leader of opposition. He would sit right across Ameya Jayalalitha and give an answer. But Vijay Kant was a very, very good speaker, very good orator. He spoke the lines of what people wanted to hear, and he would speak their lines. The kind of questions he would ask where probably others would think twice, but then he would allow his mind to rule over, and speak. But how long Vijay will be able to sustain that is a big question mark here. But he's more like a younger brother to me. So I always say I wish him all the best. May his dream come true.
But he says the fight is between DMK and TVK. BJP is nowhere.
See, between BJP, it's not about BJP. I think he relatively talks about NDA, National Democratic.
Yeah. So I mean the alliance.
Yeah, the alliance. So his hatred towards DMK is very clearly seen. So probably that's why he feels. But when it comes to the basic battlefield or the war field of politics, they know that the battle is between DMK and NDA, and Vijay is there in between. How much of damage he's going to do here and there is what we have to wait and watch. And like I said, the times have changed. When people said that Jayalalitha is not going to come back to power, because it has never been in the history of Tamil Nadu where any ruling government has come back to power back to back. So there's always a change. But then she changed. Jayalalitha won and she came back to power back to back. When people said that BJP can never find a foothold in South, Kerala, you have winning all the seats, and we have the first mayor in Trivandrum. The lotus will never bloom in Tamil Nadu. We have 4 sitting MLAs in Tamil Nadu. So times are changing. And we are very, very hopeful and we are very positive that this election, NDA is going to see a very big victory.
You mentioned Jayalalitha. AIDMK for the first time is in a way without star power. How does it change the political landscape?
It doesn't, I think, the kind of legacy, whether it was Amma Jayalalitha or Purachi Talaivar MGR, the kind of legacy they have left behind, it's not something which is going to go because they're not around. AIDMK still runs because there is MGR, there is Jayalalitha. You cannot function without them. Political scenario in Tamil Nadu can never be the same without both of them. Or for that matter, even Dr. Kalingar when it comes to DMK. They are the three very strong political party leaders who have made sure that whatever the situation might be, but that the 23 to 25% of their steady vote share remains the same. And that foundation is laid by such great leaders. What actually hurts me is to see Congress in such a dire state in Tamil Nadu. 1967 was the last we saw one of the greatest statesmen, I won't even say politician, the greatest statesman what Indian politics ever seen was in Tamil Nadu in the form of Kamraj. Why is that after that from 67 to 2026? Why is that almost 60 years? Congress has never been able to find a foothold or the strength or the courage to go solo in Tamil Nadu. You have been dealing with DMK, AIDMK, DMK, AIDMK. Whoever is giving you a hand during that political part, during that election, you go with them. Who is supporting you or supporting your affairs or supporting your to cover up your faults, you're going with them. So that is what hurts me. I said, if you have seen a great leader like Kamraj, why is that Congress is never able to come back? But of course, you give it to AIDMK when after Jayalalitha, when EPS was the chief minister, he did fairly a good job because it was a peak of COVID. We saw that how he worked during COVID. There was a problem with the immigrants, they had to go back, and how much he struggled, and he found the right way to send them back. And he managed it very well, where people said that this government without Jayalalitha, with EPS in the chair, will not last even for 2 months. He lasted whole 5 years and he did a pretty good job. Tamil Nadu was definitely in a better place with EPS in the chair as a chief minister.
Right. We're talking about, star power and film stars. One thing I find really intriguing is the fact that whenever we talk about Tamil Nadu and politics, film stars are always linked to it. I know there are other states where film stars have taken plunge into politics, but Tamil Nadu, it's like, there is some sort of a, that film stars will take this plunge into politics, and historically we have seen that.
No, I think people probably except for NTR in Andhra Pradesh, or now with Pavan Kalyan, or very briefly it was Mr. Chiranjeevi or Balakrishna for that matter, because there's a legacy which Balakrishna takes forward from his father. But otherwise, Karnataka, though Rajkumar sir was the biggest star, he never entered politics. Both his sons never got into, all the three sons never got into politics. And it's Tamil Nadu, because you see it, how many of them? You can count on the fingers. Probably it's MGR, Jayalalitha. I would still say Kalingar was part of cinema, though he was not an actor. But from cinema, Dr. Kalingar, or probably Chiranjeevi, or very few stars. I am there, or Sharat Kumar is there. Who else? Or now Vijay. How many stars do you see? Mr. Kamal Hassan.
I was about to say
that.
Yeah.
So how many stars? I mean, you have seen so many stars come and go. But how many stars have plunged into politics? Not everyone. Probably very well-known stars have taken to politics. So people feel that Tamil Nadu is always associated with cinema. So Tamil Nadu politics. But you also need to understand, the kind of aura which is left behind by MGR, by Jayalalitha, the two biggest stars of their times, not only as an actor, But as the political leaders, the kind of aura they have left behind, it's very easy to come into it. And people always say that actors come into politics is because you see to this larger than life images of Jayalalitha and MGR, who are stars in their own right, but they have done extremely well in politics. So that remains. But otherwise, I mean, when we were counting, there were hardly 5 or 6 of us who are into politics. Mr. Rajnikant also didn't come into politics. So there are so many stars who are no way connected to politics. It's just that people assume that big stars are into politics. So they
the
say
focus
that,
is on
yeah, the focus is more on them.
You mentioned Congress. Right now Congress is quite in the limelight for the shirtless protest.
They're always in limelight for all the wrong reasons, never the right reason.
You were with the Congress at
Yes.
one point of time. You must have interacted with Mr. Rahul Gandhi or the Gandhi family. What do you think? I mean, how do you view Congress now? How was it then? How is it changed? Do you think it has changed, or it has always been like that? What do you think?
You want a very honest answer.
Yes.
My biggest mistake after quitting DMK was joining Congress. See, I grew up on Congress. When I was born, I was growing up. BJP was not even there. Janata Party was there, it was coming up. And my entire family was a Congress supporter. I grew up on Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. You were taught only about how Congress has struggled and given their lives for the freedom of the nation. Everything else was eclipsed. Every other party leader was eclipsed. Every other person who probably have been part of the freedom struggle were eclipsed by the Congress. And so I thought, the next best thing, and I've always said that Rajiv Gandhi was my growing up days, my poster boy. I used to have his posters all over my house. So I thought that will be the best thing to do by joining Congress. But getting into Congress, you realize that nope, this is not the party you believe to be. It's not what you think it is from the outset. And of course, I would say that I was given the opportunity to represent the party nationally as a national spokesperson for 6 long years. And I will always have very high regards for Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji, being a woman, being the leader what she is. But I see a complete different shift since Mr. Rahul Gandhi took over.
Okay.
It was a different party when Sonia ji was there, and it's a different party since Rahul Gandhi took over, because now people are there only to be in good books with Rahul Baba. It's not about the nation. It's not about the good and the bad. It's not the healthy politics is not there anymore. When we see the healthy politics, even when Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister or when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, there used to be a very healthy batter. Congress, unfortunately, the hate towards the Prime Minister for Mr. Rahul Gandhi is so fierce that he forgets that you're not insulting the Prime Minister of the nation. In turn, you're insulting the soil of India. You're insulting the nation globally. And this is something which does not get into the head of Mr. Rahul Gandhi at all, which is very sad, because if a man who wants to be the Prime Minister, who dreams of becoming the Prime Minister and take the country forward, you're at the back foot. You are insulting nation at every given platform, whether it is nationally or internationally. So how would you even think of taking the nation forward? What have you done as the leader to fight for the people's right? Tell me one policy which he says that, okay, given a solution, if you think as a leader of opposition that what BJP, the policy brought in by BJP is wrong, you give a solution to that. It's very easy for me to sit here and say, what you're doing is wrong. But you give a solution. Okay, if I'm doing something, it's wrong. You tell me this is the right way to do it. You don't do it. All you are completely blinded by the hate towards the Prime Minister that you don't have a solution. You wake up every morning with just one agenda in life, that I am going to find a reason to insult the Prime Minister and in turn insult my nation on an international or national platform. That's the only agenda of Mr. Rahul Gandhi every morning as he wakes up. And I think by the time he brushes his teeth, all these things run in his mind that what am I going to do today and how I'm going to talk about the Prime Minister, how I'm going to insult the nation, how I'm going to demean my own soil, motherland, and what is it that I'm going to do to make a fool of myself. I think all these agendas work too many things in Rahul Gandhi's mind as he brushes his teeth.
Why I ask this question is because we recently saw the Assam, former Assam Congress president. He shifted to the BJP.
BJP.
He talked about the fact that it used to be so difficult to meet Mr. Rahul Gandhi. How was your experience? Was he
No,
available for
that way, no, no,
interactions?
no, no, no. I wouldn't deny that every time I was in Delhi, I wanted to meet Rahul Gandhi. He was very nice enough to give me an appointment immediately, or whether it was Sonia ji, if she was fine, if she was okay with her health, then she would also give me an appointment. So I'm not going to deny that, and I'm not going to say that, no, it was very difficult to get an appointment from Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I have never met Priyanka Gandhi or never even seeked an appointment from Priyanka. I don't know. Despite being in Congress for 6 years, never thought of meeting Priyanka on one-on-one basis. वो कभी मौका ही नहीं मिला. Neither I had anything to do with Priyanka because she was not in a position in the party where I could go and meet her. I was there working for a political party, not for a particular family. But yes, I have seen a lot of people complaining that it's very difficult to get through Mr. Rahul Gandhi, especially after Sonia ji. Like I said, when Rahul ji became the president of the party, whether it is Shashi Tharoor, whether it is Sachin Pilot, who is completely sidelined, he doesn't have a choice, whether it is myself, whether it is Milind Deora, Sushmita Dev, or you have Madhav, whether you have Jyotiraditya Scindia, Priyanka Chaturvedi. Of course, Rajiv Satak is no more with us, unfortunately. But I'm sure if Rajiv was there, even he would have moved out. So you tell me the people we used to talk about, the core team of Rahul Gandhi, who is there with him now? He's just surrounded by one or two people who are there to tell him what to do, what not to do. That's it. So there's definitely, and now you have, whether it was Mr. Biswas or whether it was the Punjab Chief Minister, the Captain, you please tell me, or Jayanti Natarajan from Tamil Nadu. Today you also have Mr. Mani Shankar Iyer talking completely against the Congress, or you have Ghulam Nabi Saab who has moved away. If everything was right with Congress, if everything was perfectly fine with Rahul Gandhi, why would these people move away? So there's definitely something wrong, and which is the introspective which Rahul Gandhi needs to do. He refuses to do that.
You mentioned Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I would like to talk briefly about the Deepam controversy, and now we know that PM is likely to visit. So,
Yes.
what is the political significance of the move?
See, Deepam controversy, like I said, DMK, every person, I belong to Mumbai. I was born and raised in Mumbai, but for the last 40 years, I've been living in Chennai. 86, I moved to Chennai, and now it's 2026, exactly 40 years. So I look at myself as a Tamilian, as more of a Tamil citizen. And I know what an huge importance lighting this Deepam is to the people of Tamil Nadu. And why would you deny which is going on for many, many years? So you are unwantedly trying to stir the hornet's nest and say that I am going to disturb the entire harmony, bring in BJP again and say, see, the minute it's about Hindu, how they are jumping because they are against the minorities. The basic usual mindset of DMK to prove that BJP is for the majority and not for the minorities because the elections are coming forward. What they forget that the people, it's not DMK doesn't run or they didn't win the election with only minority votes. The majority also voted for them. And they forget that majority is a majority. You can't win a vote with only minorities. You need the majority vote to win the votes, to win an election. And we always say that if there is anything to do with Hinduism, we stand by them. And we also say that if anybody from minority is affected, we will stand by them, and we do stand by them. So these kind of appeasement politics don't matter to us. We stand for the right. We stand for what is for the people. We stand for what is important to the people, and we stand by the sentiments of the people. It's not about appeasement politics. It is not about religious politics. It's not about community divide politics. It is not communal politics. We do simple politics where we say we deliver to the people, and definitely Prime Minister will be doing, he's definitely doing something right where people time and again have been voting BJP and the Prime Minister back to power. So we are definitely doing something right somewhere.
Well, I've taken a lot of your time, but one last question. We hear a lot about, the arrival of the women voters and, how women voters, they vote in large numbers for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We talk about the Bihar model. We see that this entire concept of financial aid or help, that is promised to now women voters, whether in terms of Ladli scheme. We saw even in Tamil Nadu, the amount that was
Yeah.
given to women. It was given in batches. It was supposed to
Yes.
come, but they gave it all
Altogether.
together, right? How do you see this concept of the arrival of the women voters, but at the same time this financial help that is sort of promised to them?
See, when it comes to women empowerment, I'm not going to bring in politics here. Because to me, a woman has to be empowered, whichever strata of life she belongs to, the upper class, the lower class, the backward class, the minority, the majority, the tribe, anybody for that matter. Every woman needs to be empowered financially, mentally, physically, and even in society. So, financial help only during the time of election is something in the name of freebie is not accepted. You bring in schemes. Like BJP has brought in so many schemes. We are talking about women, how they can empower themselves and they can become entrepreneurs on their own. Today, when we brought in UPI, phone pay and everything, people made fun of us. They said, "Arey, kya kar loge tum? Gaon gaon mein kahan se hoga? How will people be able to?" But now, it's nice to see that even when a woman who probably is making idlis and selling it on a platform, or a woman sitting outside a temple and selling flowers, you don't have to pay cash to her. She'll just show you a scanner, sir. UPI பண்ணிடுங்க, scan பண்ணிடுங்க. So that is empowerment. You're giving them the equal rights to be part of the society we live in. So the minute you start respecting women as one among us, that means you are empowering a woman and you're empowering the nation in turn. So the basic idea when the Prime Minister talks about Viksit Bharat, he talks about Viksit Bharat is not about Viksit men Bharat. Viksit Bharat is Viksit Women Bharat, because if women are empowered, you're empowering the nation. And today we see women at the topmost places in India, whether it is health, whether it is politically, whether it is armed forces, or any which ways you look at it. Women are empowered. And I think that is what is important, that if you want the nation to grow, you have to empower the woman. But empowering the woman does not mean that you give them freebies. It means you give them the support. It means that you give them the strength, you give them the power to be somebody on their own, where they have the confidence to stand on their 2 feet and say, I have arrived and I'm going to make a difference in the society.
But then BJP has been giving financial help to women in as Ladli scheme in Madhya Pradesh. In Delhi, they are supposed to start it. The many states that BJP has just been, promising 2,500, 3,000, that sort
But
of an
you look at
amount.
the scheme. It is to empower them. It is on different schemes. It's not that I'm giving you freebie at the time of election. It's a scheme which will be forwarded. So every scheme of government of India is not that कि ये brought in a scheme, so tomorrow if BJP government is not there, the schemes are going to go fat. No, the schemes will continue. And what is more nice about BJP is all the schemes are Pradhan Mantri Yojana. It was not named after one particular family or the leaders where you take forward the legacy. So everything is not about Gandhi family. It's about taking what the government, whichever government comes in. Pradhan Mantri scheme is going to remain Pradhan Mantri scheme. Pradhan Mantri Yojana is going to remain Pradhan Mantri Yojana. It's not going to change into Narendra Modi Yojana. It's not going to change into any other Yojana or whoever the Prime Minister is tomorrow. So I think this is where we need to work, that the scheme, it's rather than giving freebies at the time of election, I say you bring in schemes and I'll be much more happier. But you promising a scheme during the election time and then you forget about it and say that it was just a golmaal to get the votes of the women, that is wrong. You don't make false promises.
Well, thank you so much, Khushboo, for taking out time and answering all our questions. This is Neelam Pandey reporting from New Delhi for The Print.